Well, let's just talk about what kindness is
Yeah.
for a moment. For me personally, I'm a firm believer that kindness doesn't come from the human race originally. I believe it comes from our soul, our inner being, our higher self, God, universe, Buddha, Christ, whatever you want to call it. And my first experience with kindness was highly elevated kindness that was completely pure and positive, that was so unconditional that it made me weep.
Yeah.
Tears of joy. And that was whenever I was a little boy and my birth dad was beating up my mom and I was a little bitty kid and I had no power to fight my birth dad back. So I was hiding under the kitchen table and my mom was pregnant and he was beating her and kicking her on the kitchen floor. And I was praying. I was praying from a place of fear. Child, we should do a whole show just on the power of prayer
Oh, yeah, for sure.
in a denominational way as a
Exactly.
spiritual practice.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I was just
I
praying.
believe in prayer.
Me too. I was praying my heart out and that she would live. And he left the house and I was still under the table. And I remember thinking, I didn't know if she was dead or alive. And so he leaves, the door slams, I'm waiting. And then I quietly, because we were raised to be seen and not heard.
Sure.
And so I crawled out from under the table, was very quietly, and I started picking up the pieces of busted bowl and glass on the floor. And I was putting them in a really quiet little stack, like I was being busy so I wouldn't get in trouble.
Yeah.
And I kept asking and praying that mom was going to be okay. And that's when I saw this white light, like super bright sun coming through the walls, not the window, but through the walls at this diagonal. And it illuminated the entire room, super, super bright. And it was going right onto mom. And she didn't move, but I knew the light was a consciousness. I knew it was real. I knew it had a personality. And I knew that it was there for my mom and me. And it stayed there for a long time. It had a vibration about it, a frequency, an elevating consciousness and illumination. And then my mom started to stir a little bit. And then the angels came through the light into the room over my mom. And that's the first time I consciously understood at about 4 years old that kindness is unconditional.
Yeah.
That kindness comes from our inner being, our invisible self. It comes from our invisible self. And we come from non-physical into physical. So even though my mom was kind, and lots of people in my life were kind and thoughtful and all of that, it was the spirit of kindness from the spirit realm that made me realize that is the authentic origin of kindness. It ain't from human beings trying to be kind. It's from authentic kindness within the human being from non-physical that's activated.